everyone for just joining. We wanted to welcome you to the Cook Along With Me event sponsored by the Maize and Blue Cupboard. So just as far as technology is going to go today, feel free to unmute your mic and let our chef here know if you have any questions about the recipe as you cook along. And you can also put your questions in the chat if you feel more comfortable, and I will express those to the chef via Zoom. And we thank you all for being here today. We're really, really excited. And if you could please keep your sound off during the demo, unless you're asking a question, that would be very helpful, as many of us are going to be cooking along with Chef here. The second thing that I wanted to say is feel free to pin the cameras titled camera number 1 and camera number 2. That'll help you as the chef cooks along. Excuse me, that'll help you keep that the highlight of your screen as the chef cooks and gives you instructions on the meal. Also, feel free to turn your cameras on if you would like. We'd love to see y'all cooking along and make it feel a little bit more like an experience for all of us. And with that, I will turn it over to Chef Bou.
Hi guys, I'm Chef Bou. I am the sous chef over at Saute Pan Dining. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining, and this is a first new experience for me, so I hope I do great, and thank you again for joining. So as we go along, I'll try to explain things as I go, and I'm using the same exact products that you are that we got from Maize and Blue Cupboard. And it's okay that we have some mostly canned items because that works great because I love to cook semi-homemade. And I picked what we had at that time, and the only fresh thing we have right now is the potato and onions, but that's okay. I'll show you how to work that into our recipe. Anyways, I'm going to get started right away. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Type them in. Talk out loud. And if you want to turn on your cameras so I can see what you're doing or not doing, that's okay. But that'd be fun to see what you're doing as well, okay? So we get started. Okay, first we're going to start with the biscuit mix. And it's the same biscuit mix that you guys have that you got with your little package. I'm going to do the whole thing. And if you guys read the back of this, which is great, you can also do waffles. So it's like not just biscuits, you do waffles and pancakes. So I like boxes and mixes that you can get like multiple uses. This says all-type-purpose. Get rid of that. So the recipe calls for a cup of milk, and you guys got this. And I did a test recipe. This milk is actually not bad. It's pretty good. Drink some. So what I have here is half a cup. So still gonna add a whole another. But I'm gonna reserve probably a little less than a quarter. I found that if you mix too much water or too much liquid in it, it gets a little wet. So the dough doesn't, it sticks too much on the wax paper and stuff like that. So, and then we'll use the milk to coat the top of our biscuit when we put it on. And when we bake it, it comes out all nice and brown and shiny. So, I'm gonna mix it up if you guys can see me. And it looks kind of clumpy, that's okay. Once you start working the dough a little bit, it starts forming. It's like this, and this is okay, it's not all mixed. I'm gonna change my gloves real quick. So if you remember that little packet they gave you, I said you can use wax paper or saran wrap, whatever works is fine, or whatever you have is perfect. I use wax paper because that's what I had on hand. Then I'm going to put on my gloves real quick.
Hey, Chef Bou, we have a question. More or less, how long does it take from start to finish for these recipes?
It takes about 50 minutes. 50 minutes of your time. So As long as, because everything pretty much is canned, so you have everything that's cut up for you. Your canned vegetables are actually cooked, so pretty much the only thing you're kind of cooking is that fresh potato you have. And again, if you want to use canned potatoes, you're welcome to. Does that answer your question? Okay, so I'm going to set this this bowl aside, and we're going to use that for the peaches. And if you look, can you see what I'm doing? I'm going to try to flatten this out a little bit. And I'm going to do a couple folds. And what those folds do is create these little nice layers. Two folds, and then I'm gonna do another fold just because I like extra layers.
They're going pretty fast.
I'm sorry. Thank you for doing it along with me. Thank you so much. I love it. Is anybody else cooking along? Yes, no?
I am.
Yes.
Yay.
Me too.
It seems like we've got a lot of people cooking along with us. Keep in mind, this is Chef Bou's
Lucy, Diane, nice. Shout out to the girls. Any guys? Huh? Any guys? It's okay. So after you did those folds, ladies, we're gonna kind of wrap it up a little bit, and then we're gonna put it in the fridge to rest. Okay. So are we still doing the dough? So just try to clean out your bowl as best you can. It's okay if there's a little remnants because it'll help coat the your peaches. So I'm gonna step away from the camera for 1 sec. Okay, so while you guys are doing that, I'm just gonna wipe my counter off a little bit because it's crummy, literally. How are we doing, guys? Are we doing good? Oh, I see another person cooking. Penny, hi. Yes.
Yeah, we love to see everyone's cameras on. Thank you so much for showing what you're doing.
You're all beautiful people, even if I can't see you. So we're gonna take that bowl. You guys ready for the next step? We took that bowl that we used made our dough in. I'm gonna pour the peaches in, and I drained just a little bit of liquid, only because, like I said, I did a test recipe earlier, and I felt it was too liquidy. Just pour it all in there. And if you notice, I said cinnamon is optional. I like the cinnamon because it just gives it a little extra flavor. It's like 1 teaspoon, or if you like lots of cinnamon, go for it. Do 2. And then I put a little bit of sugar, probably a teaspoon, because this is light syrup, so I felt it should have been just a little sweeter. If you get a can that is like regular syrup, or what is it? Not the light, but it just says heavy syrup, that's fine. Don't add the sugar. So if you want to use your hands or a spoon, that's fine. I'm gonna mix this up a little bit. You can see. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside. Next, if you guys can pull out your cutting board, we're gonna start dicing, and we're gonna start dicing and cutting the onions. So first, we're gonna dice the potatoes. Okay. So what I like to do is, see, this is like a small size. It's perfect for what we're making. I like to cut, and you know what? Having the peel on is optional. So if you want to take it off because you don't like the peel, but you really don't notice it when you're cooking it in your pie. So I like to leave it on. So I'll cut just a small little cut right here, just to help. See that? Just a little bit, and it helps. Like a tiny bit that way. They can't quite see it. Can you see right here? Yeah. Sorry. So that helps stabilize my potato when I'm cutting it. And sometimes I like to trim off the ends. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. And we're just going to make some slices. And be careful, don't rush. We don't want any cut fingers. So I'm going to cut them into, after I did that, I'm going to cut them into strips. And then little more strips. See that? They don't have to be perfect again. Just as long as they're small dice, because when it'll cook faster. And it just goes, we want to have the same sizes as our canned veggies that we gave you. So.
How's everyone doing? Are we keeping up, or we need to slow down a bit? We feeling good? Keeping up now? Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm
just
in the
making
zone
sure.
with you guys. I'm in the zone with you guys. So we're gonna take that and put it in our small saute pan. And then we're gonna add some water to it. And I didn't use any oils, and you'll see why. Oil is not a big thing in this, or butter. And it's about, it depends on how high your oven is. Like I know that with gas, it cooks, the heat is higher. And then with electric, it seems to be lower. So I added actually half a cup of water. Turn my oven on. Okay, yes. Okay. So while that is on, I turned it on medium to high so that the water can start simmering and boiling. And then I'm going to work on my onion. So I only used half an onion. I felt that was plenty. So I'm going to do a little slit in between. And then more slices right here. And I kind of want to cut it and dice it a little smaller than my potatoes. You guys doing good? Okay, so as my potatoes start cooking a little bit, once it comes to a little simmer, I'm gonna wait a little bit and then put my onions in. So while we're waiting, if you guys wanna open your cans up and stuff like that. And for your veggies, when you open it, make sure you drain all that liquid. But the chicken, do not drain the liquid because that's going to actually build and add flavor. So the chicken juices in this is actually, it's almost like chicken stock, right? So you want to build that flavor and make everything even more intensified. So another thing that I want to mention that was really great, you know, when we have stuff that is condensed, it's already seasoned for you. So you don't have to worry about, you know, getting more cream or adding that much salt and pepper or even like onion powder or garlic powder, because these canned items that are already pre-made and pre-mixed has all that good flavor for you. So I thought that'd be neat to do a chicken pot pie. Actually tastes better than the ones in the stores. Right, guys? Okay. How are your potatoes doing? Are they cooking up? Are they? So once it starts coming to a high simmer, almost like a light rolling boil, it's slowly. Yeah.
We have a question. How big of a saucepan should we use? Will it need to fit all of the ingredients?
Yes. So we're actually only going to use half of these. So it's not really that much. I have a small saute pan, if you look. Can you see? So see my hand? It's not that big. I'm just trying to give you a reference to the size of it. Can you guys see? Okay. So my potatoes are like slowly turning translucent a little bit. So I'm going to add the onions. Give it a little stir. And I kind of want to cook it all the way until the water kind of disappears. And pretty much by then your potatoes should be cooked. And you know, if you can't tell if they are fully cooked, they don't have to be mushy, enough to be al dente, which is a nice chew. You can take one out and test one and take a bite. You guys smell the onions and the potatoes? It's smelling good. I know I sound cheesy. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a mom. And I have kids in college too, so I feel that if I like express my words louder, they listen. I don't know if that's true. Maybe it's just me because I'm an old person. I don't know. Another cheesy adult joke. I'm sorry. Stop. Oh, so if you guys need to preheat your ovens, I would say right now would be a good time. 400. We're going to preheat at 400 and cook it at 400. Because I know that some ovens take longer to preheat than others. And during this little wait time, I like to kind of clean up a little bit so that, so you don't have that much to do in the end, I guess. So after you're done, you can enjoy the food with your friends that you made this for, right? Okay, my potatoes are getting there. They're you can see the water's slowly disappearing. But I'm still gonna let it cook down a little more to where the liquid is almost gone, excuse me.
Feel free to ask questions or anything as we go along. We'd love to hear from y'all.
Okay, so my pan is losing most of its water. So I'm gonna add the whole can of chicken. See? Right there. So when you guys are stirring the chicken, just lightly stir it. We don't want to chop it up so that it holds the chunks of meat so that when you do cook your pie and everything and you eat into it, you see these nice, beautiful chunks, right? So you kind of want to be gentle during this process. I know you guys are used to cheering really loud at the games and clapping real hard and stuff like that, but here we're just going to do a gentle, poetic snap, right? So I'm cooking my food right now on medium heat, and I'm on electric. How are we doing, guys? Are we on the same steps?
Not quite.
Not quite? Where are you, dear? Let's see, how's it goes? So
My potatoes are still cooking. They're not quite. I must have cut them bigger than you did.
okay, that's okay. That's okay. Just the thing is that you kind of have to have your potatoes cooked al dente, because when you're baking them, the baking process isn't that long. So because pretty much you're bringing your food up to temperature and you're cooking your biscuits that we're going to put on top. So otherwise you're going to have crunchy potatoes. But who am I to do it? Some people like crunchy potatoes, right? So if I see, how's the dough supposed to look? So earlier I had asked you guys to just reserve a little less than a quarter of the milk because it comes kind of wet, but it should be a little sticky feeling, and that's okay. Oh.
Is it too bad if I maybe accidentally put it too much milk and it's a bit sticky?
That should be fine. Do you have some flour?
Yes, I do.
So don't put it in, but when you start laying out your dough on your wax paper or your Saran, whatever you're using, just add a little flour on the bottom and on the top and kind of smooth it out so that it'll be easier for you to handle.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I think I'm on the same page. I also need flour.
Okay. So here's my stuff right now. Most of the stock in the chicken is slowly going. So are we ready for the next process, or do you want me to wait just a little more?
Can we wait just a little more, please?
Sure. How about some questions? Does anybody have some questions for me?
How did you come up with this recipe?
So I'm a mom of 4, and I do a lot of semi-homemade cooking. So I like to use stuff that is already sometimes canned or pre-boxed. And I don't know, I guess if you love to cook, you just say, hey, you know what? I've had soup before and I've had biscuits before. This would taste good together. But I know that when I went into the Maize and Blue that day, there was mainly canned foods, but I said, that's okay. But this is why I wanted to do this mainly canned foods for you guys, so that you know that it's okay to work with all this stuff. And like I said, when you have stuff that's already condensed and pre-made, it already has lots of flavor for it. So even if you guys didn't want the biscuit stuff, you could make this into a soup. Because see, you have the vegetables, and this is a great base for your soup. And as we get going and maybe do more cooking stuff, I personally like to do a lot of Southeast Asian cooking because I'm Laotian, so I love to cook a lot of Thai food, Laotian food, and Vietnamese food. So once we get going and you guys put in your feedback and comments and say, hey, Chef Bou, bring it on. We want some more diverse cooking. But I thought I'd go a little chill and easy, I don't want to scare you guys yet. Right?
Woohoo! I am half Thai, so I love the Southeast Asian food.
Oh my gosh! Who's talking? Diane?
Yes. It's also
Yay.
great for working with cans because curry paste is in a can and so is coconut milk.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a lot of stuff that's canned, right? That comes from, but you know what? A lot of curries that I like to buy canned because I don't have time to mix kefir lime leaves, galangal, ginger, garlic, and all that stuff together. So I'm like, I'll buy canned. Hey. Okay, so I am going to start adding my vegetables. I'm going to add my veggies. I add the whole thing. So again, you guys be gentle with your stir, okay?
You did drain the veggies, right, Chef Bou? We've got some.
I drained them. So this is what it looks like. You see how the pan is not even full?
Go a little higher.
Higher. You guys see? I'm sorry. Perfect. So the pan is not that full. Again, this is my hand. I have small hands. It works out perfect. So I'm going to add A little less than half of the turkey gravy. Or you know what? If you guys like it really gravy, you know, add more. And then a little a little half of the cream of mushroom. Sorry, I can talk sometimes, depending on the time of day, I guess.
I don't think I have the turkey gravy in my supply list.
Oh,
Like I didn't get that ingredient, I think.
what? Do you have your cream of mushroom?
Yeah, I do have cream and mushroom.
So go ahead and add all of that.
Okay, sounds good.
And remember, we cooked with the chicken and the chicken's stock that's in it, and I had you pour the whole thing. So that'll help because that gives you flavor too.
Yeah, that's good.
And now we're gonna carefully mix and stir. And kind of let that heat up a little bit. I know that mine needs pepper. You guys got those salt and pepper packets, right? I'm gonna add 1 pepper. And this is what this looks like, guys. I can't see the other camera. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's I'm like they're all over you.
They're all over you. Okay. How you guys doing? Good? That was a question earlier. Penny, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm just adding my cream of mushroom. So I'm a little behind, but yes.
Okay, because the last conversation I saw was you're still cooking your potatoes. I just want to make sure that you were on track with us.
Oh, yeah, thanks for checking in.
Oh, no problem. So now that this has been cooking a little bit, I'm gonna taste mine to see if I need some salt. Because with these pre-made stuff, they put the salt in it, and sometimes it can be too salty. Let's see. I forgot who just had the cream of mushroom. I forgot. I'm sorry.
It's me.
Lucy, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So if it's a little too thick for you, you can, that milk that we gave you, you can add a couple of splashes in there just to thin it out. Because I know the cream of mushroom is a little thicker.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so I'm going to taste it. Ooh. So mine is on the edge of feeling like it should use more salt, so I am going to add more salt because I noticed that once we put the biscuits on top and stuff like that, it just kind of balances it out. You guys tasting your food? Okay. So we are done with this process. So what I'm gonna do is gonna put it in the fridge so that it can cool down, because we are going to put it in our little pie pans so that we don't have a hot base putting in there over our dough. So anyways, just put it in the fridge and we're gonna work on our dough. So when you put your pan in the fridge, pull out your dough. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of my cutting board and my knife. Well, no, actually put your knife aside. Get this out of the way. Actually, you can probably take it away. Okay. You guys ready for the dough? Change my gloves real quick.
I'm still a little behind, so I'm gonna wait on my dough 1 second.
Okay. I have an assistant. Yes. I ain't got time to turn off my oven. So, okay. So my dough is in a rectangle. And I want to cut probably a third of this. Okay. And do you guys remember on the equipment list, I said if you have another piece of wax paper or saran, we're going to use this one and put that aside on it. I'm going to put this here. I'm just gonna cut this aside a little bit. Okay, so our dough right here, and it's okay, it's sticking. It's not gonna, unless you have flour, you can do that. But I just kind of wanted to make it like you guys didn't have flour, so I press my dough out.
Are you kneading the bigger piece right now or the smaller piece?
I'm kneading the bigger piece. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you for that. And if you feel that, this is too sticky or for your hands, you can fold your wax paper over. Just do this. Kind of use the heel of your hand. But hey, it's okay not to be perfect because you're at home cooking for yourself or maybe your friends, unless your friends are judgy. My friends and I give loving insults to each other just because we've known each other for decades. And see how that worked? See how that turned out? Can you guys see? And if you feel around the dough, just to make it even, if one side feels higher than the other, just push it down. And so for me, I'm going to be cooking mine in two little cute pie ramekins. So if you have a little biscuit cutter, or if not, if you have a small little cup, you can use the rim of your cup to press down. So I'm going to set these aside. So depending on how big your pie pan is, you want to probably cut out, I can cut out at least 6 to 8 on these. So I know that I use 3 for mine, 3 each, so I'm going to cut out 6.
Chef Bou, what can they use if they don't have your perfect little ramekins?
Oh, a little pie pan. Or even if you have do you have anything that you make little make bread with, the bread pans, or even muffin tins. Muffin tins are great. And then with the muffin tins, you would put your filling in, and then you could put your biscuit on top.
Would it make sense to use a cast iron skillet?
Yeah, you
If I don't
can.
have any of those?
You can. Make sure
Oh.
your cast iron skillet is well seasoned, though. And when I mean well seasoned, it's like oiled up and clean. It's cleaned and oiled and stuff like that, so that you don't want one that needs to be that is rusty or anything like that. Not that you would have one, but make sure it's well seasoned and oiled before you use it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I just lift all these little odds and ends. Right here. Here. So keep your dough, guys, because it's pliable and you can reshape it. And so what I did with my leftover dough, I put it all together and then kind of flattened it a little bit and cut it into fours. And I made 4 biscuits. So you can save it for the next morning and make biscuits for breakfast with some jelly and some butter or honey. Yummy. So save everything you make. You can always reuse it. And then I just use my spoon to like lift this up. And it's okay. You see if I make it, like when I'm lifting mine up, it kind of made a misshape, but that's okay. Just stretch it out. I mean, whoever says, geez, you have circles and ovals on your pot pie. And you just say, it's my pot pie. Okay. So I have all 6 for me. I'll put my dough on the other side. And you know what? If you guys can use like different cookie cutter shapes too if you want. Like I just found a round one at home because during Christmas we make snowflakes or Valentine's we make hearts. You can even make shapes out of hearts and stuff. It just adds another dynamic to your pie. It makes it almost like it's fancy. Okay. So the other piece, the third that we put aside, this one I'm gonna make into a different shape. And it's up to you. If you want to make this one into round biscuits, that's okay. But I thought I'd show you something fun. Because I like shapes. I like different shapes on my pies. How we doing, guys? Good? Thumbs up?
Good.
So for this one, the smaller piece of dough that I put aside, I like to have this one a little thinner because I am going to make little oval shapes out of them. And I'm going to turn them into like little leaves. So and you know what? If you decide to make little oval shapes and leaves, they don't have to be perfect either. And again, you don't have to do that. You can do just the biscuit rounds. I'm down. I'm okay with that. Okay. So we got that. So what I'm gonna do is take the end of my spoon And if you picture a leaf, they have like that little line in the middle, right? So I'm gonna put lines in the middle of my ovals. And I'll show you, I'll give you a quick close up after I finish. Can I see? Can you guys see that? There's a line in the middle. And then I'm gonna put extra little slants on them. And they don't have to be perfect, guys. It's okay, because we're not perfect. Okay. And then after I do that, oh, I'm sorry, hold on 1 second. So this is what it looks like. Looks like a leaf. Too high. Too high, right here. Yep. Can you guys see? So I just did like, after I did that, I just pressed it in like that on the sides. And then I'm gonna put it over by my biscuits. Okay, so the rest of this dough, I'm gonna add to that one. And if you guys have saran wrap, just wrap it up real good and put it in the fridge, and you can re-roll it out tomorrow and make your breakfast biscuits. Sound good? So with these biscuits, because again, I like to put different shapes and stuff on my any pies that I make. So if you can see right here, see my spoon? I'm just gonna make little creases. And you don't have to do this. This is optional, seriously. I just like to you know, give people a little show when I'm cooking for my friends to make it seem like I went the extra mile because I love my friends and my family. Or you can make different kind of little, you can make little fork dots in them if you want. Okay. Are you guys on this part too? Are you ready to start filling our pie pans or our muffin tins or our bread tins? Are we on that part? Yes? I'm gonna take
Yes.
some of the silence for yes. Okay, so go grab your pan that you put in the fridge. We're trying to make pretty biscuits. I know, we're all trying to make pretty biscuits. I'm sorry. But I know you guys can do it. I know you can do it. Okay, so I'm gonna fill these up, both of them up. More, but that's okay. You guys see? And then the rounds, the rounds, I'm just gonna put like this. You guys see that? And it's okay if this is open because you kind of want your pie to breathe anyways. So you don't have to make any slits. If you ever notice, like when people make pies, they have those little holes or little cuts in them. Well, this is the same thing. That is that. So there I have these two. And then, so next I'm gonna do my peaches. And for me, I'm not going to add all my liquid to it, but I do want it kind of juicy. Okay. Okay, so remember those leaves that I had you guys do? So we're gonna put this one on top of the peach pie. And so it kind of makes it, differentiates it from my savory and my sweet, and it makes it look pretty. I don't know. I'm a girl. I like to make things look pretty. I mean, guys can too, but I'm just saying I like to make things. And there you go. You guys see that? So do you guys remember when I told you in the beginning to reserve like at least a quarter of your milk? So I'm going to take this quarter of my milk and brush on top of my biscuits.
So if you're using the muffin tins, do you recommend putting something in the base so that you can then take individual portions out, or how would that work?
Sometimes it looks yes and no. So if you wanted to, you could just press down some of your biscuit, make a thin little bottom for it, but make sure you spray it on the bottom with some cooking spray or your butter or some butter or something like that, so it comes out easy. But it's okay if you don't want to do that, because you can kind of scoop it out and you'll have this nice little, although it's not, I mean, even when you cut into this, it's not formed, right? It's not like a pie where it's like, it's firm and it holds, and it's okay. So it's up to you if you want to have extra biscuit on the bottom. It'll still kind of fall apart. Does that answer your question?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
It's up to you. It's up to you. So I am brushing on the butter, or excuse me, the milk. And if you used up all your milk in your biscuits, that's okay. You guys still have more milk in your little containers. And it's okay if some milk gets on your in your filling. It won't hurt it. See? So now it's ready to bake, guys. And so I like to so I have a small little sheet pan, excuse me, so they can cook together. And if you don't have a sheet tray, if you guys have foil to put on your rack, that would be perfect, because it does get a little bubbly and it might, spill over. It just creates less of a mess and it doesn't make your oven smoky. Okay. Do we have any questions? Are you guys good?
How's everyone doing? How's the progress coming?
Doing well. A little bit behind, but doing well.
So this show is recorded, and I also, in the packet that they gave you, they should have gave you, there was instructions that I put in there, so that should help a little bit. But if you have questions now, you can always ask too.
Do you have recommendations for something to do with extra turkey gravy and or condensed milk or condensed soup?
Yes. So if you don't use it, so a couple things. One thing first, sometimes if I don't use any product, freezing is like my number one thing to do, and then you can use it later. But you said condensed milk, that works just.
Sorry, the condensed soup.
Oh, yes. So condensed soup, believe it or not, I never followed the directions on it, because when they tell you to add a whole can of liquid to it, that's like too soupy, right? So you can add veggies to that and make another different type of soup. Again, like this was the condensed mushroom, right? We used it as the base, as a thickener, and it tastes great. So condensed soups are good for, again, pot pies. You can add things to it to bulk up that soup. That's always like, I like condensed stuff because they're already really pre-flavored, especially if you lack all the extra, seasonings and stuff like that. Oh my goodness, Penny, look at you. I love it. Oh, that's so cool.
Here's the peach.
Yeah.
I didn't make it as nice as yours, and then here's mine.
No, it is perfect, okay? You do you, Penny.
Thank you.
Okay, so you guys can put it in your oven if you're ready. And so I cooked mine when I did my test run earlier. I cooked mine at 400. If you read the box, I think there's an error on the box because it says to cook it at 475, and that's way too high. So cooking those biscuits should be at 350 if you're just cooking them for breakfast. But I noticed with this one, our pies, I did 400 for 8 to 10 minutes, depending on your oven, or until golden brown. Oh, so I forgot one more thing, guys. If you want to sprinkle some sugar on top of your peach pie, it's up to you. Okay, and that just adds a little texture to it. It's no biggie. You don't have to add that either. So we're going to put it in the oven, again, like I said, at 400 for 8 to 10 minutes or until golden brown. And I have one that I pre-did. Ta-da! So this is what it should look like, guys. And see those little cute ridges that I did? And it's no biggie if you don't do it. It's okay. And here's the peach pie on that one. See the little leaves and the little dents in them? And you can't really tell the big dents, but it gives it a little texture. And I baked, this is what I did. I baked the biscuits that were left over, or the dough that was left over. And I didn't have to make a perfect round square. I cut them into fours because I didn't want to waste any product. And they turned out really good, guys. See that biscuit? Can you guys see? Right there. Oh, try to go right here.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we can see it now.
These biscuits are pretty good. I had some. So you guys have any other questions? So this would be a great cleanup time and question time. And then what did we talk about? What do you want to talk about, the hashtags and stuff?
Yeah, I think Victoria has hashtags to share.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll take this time for any questions as Chef Bou cleans up, any questions about the recipe, any questions about her and what she does at U of M that y'all have. And then also, we would love to see the results of your bake along with me with Chef Bou. So once your stuff comes out of the oven and looks just as beautiful as our chefs here, as you can see on the screen, I'd love for you to share it on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook with the hashtag MBC Cook Along With Me. And I will put that in the chat for you. And it looks like we have another question for you, Chef Bou. It says, if your dough was wet, could you just drop the dough in bits on the top of the pot pie and peach pie?
You know what? Yes, you can. You can absolutely do that. So, just put it out evenly. It's fine. Was it too wet that you can add some flour when you were flattening it? Or it's just too wet? Okay. Welcome. Okay, that's fine. that's fine. So in that process, because it was too wet, don't worry about the whole adding the milk on top. So we don't add to the moisture.
I have to say, Chef Bou, I'm impressed people can cook and type at the same time.
I know. How are you guys typing and cooking? Because I can't.
It's really a skill. I'm really impressed.
I'm so happy for those of you that are cooking along. Thank you so much. This is, you know what, this is my first cooking class with you guys, or with Amazing Blue. So I'm very honored to do it, and I would like to do more. So make sure you mention my name here and there so that I can do a few more classes.
Yeah, I would say as people are getting their pot pies and peach pies into the oven, if they would drop in the chat what they'd like to see next.
Yes.
We're open to suggestions, and we'd love to hear what you want to see.
Yes. So although you know, I was trying to make this a 2-for-1er so you guys could have multiple things for your dish for this 1 hour that I was given with the few things that we had. But again, the next ones I want to do, I want to kind of go a little more and do more things that have spices and stuff like that. So again, let Amazing Blue know what you like and what you'd like to see more, and we'll try to do our best, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And we love this, so I can see this again.
Yes, and as you know, as we get into summer and stuff like that, we're gonna have more veggies and different product and stuff like that. So that right there is exciting in itself. So
I'd love to see cuisines from other regions of the world, South Asian food like pad thai. I'd love a one-pot pasta. Ooh, this all sounds very delicious. Someone said I modified this to make it vegetarian, but maybe more dietary options. Yes, that's definitely on the agenda. Thank you for pointing that out.
Thank you for pointing that out.
And then Southeast Asian recipes would be great as well.
Thank you, Penny, for doing the class.
Yeah, thank you so much. Sorry, I have to head out, but my stuff is in the oven, and I'll take a picture and use the hashtag. So thank you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, have a good night.
Yes, you too. Thank you, Penny.
Can I also say thank you for doing this, because during the week, I oftentimes do not set aside time to make a meal, and this felt really special, and it made me do that. So it meant a lot.
I think I'm gonna cry. Thank you. You know what? That's what I want to hear, because I know, because I have kids in college too that are away. I have one son that's kind of like me, so he's a little spoiled. He has a lot of product, a lot of pans and stuff like that. And I said, son, I can't cook like that. You know, not everybody has 5 pots and pans like you do of each item. So thank you for saying that. And, you know, I really would like everyone's input on more classes like this. And again, I was given 1 hour. And that's, you know, we do want to make it easy and convenient for you guys, because you guys don't have that much time. You're studying and going to classes and walking everywhere. Jeez. All right. Thank you, Diane. I appreciate you.
We have Kelly Wheeler in the chat also saying food experiences and cooking and eating create bonding moments. So thank you. And I really appreciate that. I felt like we all got to connect here today, and with the guidance of Chef Bou, the expertise.
Somewhat expert, you know. Thank you. Yes, that's a great comment, Kelly. I believe that cooking is such a bonding moment, and as right now, I'm bonding with people that are chatting with me and the people that are not chatting with me, because I'm glad you logged on to do this cooking class with us, because that lets us know that this is something you want to do.
We have a question. My pie has been in the oven for 10 minutes, but the dough is not golden like yours yet.
So so what I would do is pull it out a little bit and see how it feels, because if it feels kind of has a little crackle to it, it could be done. And that's okay that it wasn't golden. It could be a few things. It could be the milk that was not put on or whatever. Sometimes that happens. And it's ovens. Everybody's oven is different.
I don't know if you can see
Yeah,
Chef Bou, but Lucy Wang is trying to show a visual.
yeah. So, because I don't have a small pan, so I put it in my pot, and I think like the dough seems like a little bit like soaked up.
Okay, so just cook it for another 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
I mean, did you feel it? Did it feel like it was kind of mushy a little?
Oh, I can feel it now. It's half soft and half hard.
So I would cook it for another 3 to 5 minutes. And it's okay if it's
sounds
not
good.
golden brown because biscuits don't always come out golden brown. They can be light. It's okay.
Alrighty, do we have any other questions before we wrap up here?
I am pretty behind. So how thick do you make the dough before you cut it?
So with the biscuit dough, it's about probably half an inch. Yeah, it's about half an inch. So like, can you see like this, probably like a little less than your pinky fingernail.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out like, okay, not that you didn't know what half an inch was, but if you stuck your finger in it. Because I don't think anybody brought a ruler to the baking, right? I forgot mine. See, Kelly forgot her ruler, so. Did anybody else finish any of their dishes that they want to show? It's okay if you don't. I would be honored if you showed me though.
Not
I'm
yet.
finished with my peach pie. It looks like this.
It's okay. So did you put a spoon in it and see, how's the texture of it? It should be like a bread, like, as long as your dough is cooked.
I think it's very soft. Maybe I'll put it back.
Okay, so you're gonna have to cook it for probably, if it's very soft, because the main thing is you really want your dough to cook, because we know that our other stuff that we cook, we already our filling we already cooked. So the main thing was trying to have our dough cook more. Is your oven at 400?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so again, this is what I'm talking about. Everyone's oven is different on how it could be the outlet that is not putting all that power into your oven, so it cooks slower.
Yeah, but when I took it out, it smells amazing though, so I'm sure it will turn out great.
Hey, that's good. You're about 90% there then.
Alrighty, Kelly said that hers is ready and that it's time to eat. So thank you, Kelly, for being with us. Don't forget to use the hashtag before you dig in. I hope it's delicious and you enjoy your dinner. Thanks for being here today. Anybody have any other questions?
No, but I would really like to thank you for teaching us how to use canned things, because I go to Maison Bleu and I never know what to do with it. So that's amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. It looks like everyone's feeling pretty good to wrap up. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Chef Bou, for guiding us in this recipe. We very much appreciate you. Don't forget to use the hashtag. We want to see your results. And thank you all.
Bye, guys. Peace, love, and Wolverine.